Okay, here we are, back in the middle part with less than an hour before I have to leave for my initiation test for my sorority, running on low camera storage and low storage on my computer to edit this. We're filming it anyway. I hated that. Okay, anyway. Hi, hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily, and this is my college dorm room. So today I wanted to do a video that I don't know if I have ever done on my channel, at least thus far. I have a lot of other outlets where I do things similar to this, so that's why I don't think I ever have done this on here, but I felt like this would be a beneficial platform for what today's video topic is, so I started doing it here. Today we're talking about my first month of college. It is September 20th, I think today, or September 21st. Yeah, September 21st. I have been here since August 11th, so I wanted to just talk and just tell you about college and talk about college, because that is all I do all the time now, is college. So, things that I have done that have been really good positives for me. One, I pledged a sorority. Course loads are no joke, even whenever you're an English major. I feel like that's something that sometimes jokes about, is that English majors don't really have a lot of work, but I do. I literally, if I'm not reading something for one of my classes, I have something that I have to do for one of my other classes that isn't required for my major. I feel like I'm constantly like drowning in work, but it's fine, we're good, we're chilling, which is why there hasn't been that many videos, just because I have had zero time to go out and film anything, or to even like sit down and like edit videos or do anything like that. Like, I just haven't had any time. Sorry, that spot on my chin is like really bothering me, and I usually put makeup on before I film just because it always just seems to highlight the redness in my face, but I didn't today. So I also wanted to film this because I feel like my energy in the past two videos was so weird, so I'm going to talk about that. First of all, my move-in vlog was, it was put together. I talked about this at the very end of my move-in vlog, but I literally was so anxious. I was like on the verge of like screaming and crying and vomiting like the whole time. So that's why I was like a little bit like out of it. Like, I was filming it because I knew I knew that I would want that, but I wasn't filming it. I don't know, like I was not in a good place mentally about leaving home. Also, my first day of school vlog, my voice, I've never had to bump up the volume that loud on any of my clips before. And you still can't even really hear me, especially in the beginning. It was like the first video that I had filmed in my dorm, and the first time I had turned on my camera in like weeks. And I was also just in the midst of going through recruitment, and so like I was just so drained. Especially within the first week, like you were just like, it's like every day feels so long. Like, I don't know how to describe that any better than like what I just told you. Like, whenever you go to college, like the first month especially like even like the first weeks, like mostly before you go to class, oh my god, you feel like you are here for literally 5 million years and you've only been here for like 3 days. I'm not even kidding. And that's also what made it so difficult about leaving home, was the fact that like it felt like I had been here for months and I like had not seen anybody, and I had not seen my family, and I had been there for like a week. So it's just because their days are really long and people constantly are looking to do things, and you constantly are just meeting new people and having this new smile on your face and being like, oh my god. And so I was constantly introducing myself to like people that my roommates knew, or people that like I would meet and X, Y, and Z, and oh my god, it gets overwhelming. And for someone who like, I have a pretty like moderate social battery, like she drains pretty quickly, but it was, oh my god, that was so difficult for me. I actually had an idea for a video that I don't know if I'm still gonna do, but I was filming a video basically updating how my mental health was going throughout my first month of college, like before college, leading into college, and like the first month. That was going to be a very long video, and I don't know what the point of it was. Like, I think that it would probably maybe help people, but I don't know. So if I have any important clips, I'll probably put them in here about how I felt and how I feel now.
Because right now I'm in this like, holy shit, I'm here all year. And once I go home, I gotta come back. And I'm excited to come back. I actually really enjoy it here. But I'm also like, you know? So it's just this weird thing.
So going back to, there's clips that I have where I just felt uncomfortable. Like everything felt just like uncomfortable because I was in a new space, nowhere felt like home. I was just constantly like struggling. And again, I've mentioned this, I don't do well with change. So for me to leave home, that was a really big thing for me. But now this is like a safe space for me. Like I have become so much more accustomed to it, and it's just become one of my favorite places to be. I enjoy hanging out by myself and turning on things on the TV. Doesn't mean to say that I don't get lonely, because I do. Like times that I just like, I get really lonely, but at times like that, you just like text people. I also call my parents literally all the time. That's like the biggest advice that I have is like, if you're close with your family, like call them. Like call them a lot, like call them all the time, like bother them, because it makes it feel like you didn't even leave. And like, you know, like it's not in the sense of like, well, because you obviously did, and so everyone's like, well, it's like you never even left. But like, I did. Like, you are in a new place, but it just helps you cope a little bit better. It is so exciting to actually start taking classes of things that you're passionate about. And this is something that is just baffling to me, that, you know, like I went through all these years of school not taking things that I actually like cared about, and finally to get here and do that. Granted, I still am taking some college like core classes. Sorry, my hair is bothering me because I never wear it on the middle part or the side part anymore, but I wanted to because I wanted to give it extra volume, but now like this part looks weird. I don't know. We're struggling with her. I can't. And also, on the flip side of that, if you are doing a major and you're really excited for it, once you get into the classes you hate it, it's okay to switch your major. Like, it's completely fine. Like, people do it all the time. Like, I've had some of my close friends like switch majors, you know, like it gets to this point around September where you're like, do I want to be here anymore? Like, do I want to be in this major? And that's whenever everyone starts to have their crisis, especially like during freshman year. I didn't change my major. I went through like a little crisis. I put it on my TikTok, but I went through a little crisis where I was like, I feel like everyone thinks that I'm going to be a failure and I'm making the biggest mistake of my life by being an English major and wanting to write books. But literally, I ended up getting over that pretty quickly, but that was something that I definitely went through for about a week, where I was just like, am I making the right decision? Because this is something I've wanted to do my whole life, and this is something I want to do still, but should I just change my major maybe to like event planning and minor in creative writing, or like, you know? But it was all because of everyone else's opinions. And I feel like I should also add that too, like if you were majoring in something that is artistically driven, not so much so like art in that sense, because a lot of people will major in like animation or studio art and things like that, but those like have like places for you to like companies for you to work for, right? Usually things like theater or music or writing, people tend to give you some shit for it. Unintentional shit, but it's that look where they like are like, that was something that was just so much, and I had never dealt with that before, because everyone that I knew always just undoubtedly knew that I could do it, and being introduced to new people who don't know you and don't know your work ethic makes it a little bit more difficult and a wee bit more challenging. But yeah, so if it's something like that and you really want to do it and you want to stick to it, do it, because people are always gonna have questions and they're always gonna look at you weird, and you have to be okay with that, and you have to own it. And I'm like the queen of that, and so like for me, like that was really hard, like dealing with like that insecurity around like the one thing I've always wanted to do in my life, you know, like that was really hard. Moving on, I'm gonna talk about literally just college life. It's so interesting. Literally, like, it's the most like intriguing thing ever. Like, my AirPods, I feel like are dead like all the time now, because I listen to music or I listen to audiobooks or I listen to things everywhere I go, because I walk everywhere. And I know some college campuses aren't necessarily as walkable as mine is, but like, bestie boo, I get my 10,000 steps in every day. I walk up and down a bajillion flights of stairs. I walk up and down hills. Literally don't even don't even talk to me about it. So it's so interesting because I'm doing the same things I used to do in high school. Like, I always wanted, like, maybe a little bit longer of a walk. Like, I would take, like, longer laps around or whatever so I could listen to more music or do different things like that. And here I don't really have to do that because my walks are, like, 13 to 20 minutes. So, but I really enjoy it. And I've heard from a bunch of upperclassmen that they miss, like, being able to walk to campus because all the housing for next year is off campus. Not all of it, but, like, majority of housing of where you want to live is off campus. It's so interesting, like, to meet twice a week in classes and to have, like, just, like, a very, like, different schedule. Because, like, in high school, like, you go to school from 8 a.m. to, like, 3:45, right? You were there for that time, and your classes are during that time, or you don't have classes during that time, you get to leave early or go in late or whatever. In college, literally, like, and people talk about this all the time, but it's still, like, being in college and dealing with it is so much more, like, unfathomable. I have, like, a class, on Monday and Wednesday, I have two classes. One is at 10:50 to 11:40, and the other one is at 3:55, and it goes until 5 p.m. Like, I have a friend who has a speech class, well, Gavin has a speech class until 8 p.m. Like, my friends, like, Tori, I think, has a lab, like, really late. Like, it still baffles me that is, like, a thing. I don't know. It blows my mind. And to add to that, college, like, professors are also just so interesting because none of, like, they're so much more, like, I don't know, like, they're just, like, different than high school teachers, as to be expected. But it's also just so weird, like, being on your own. The number one thing that I hate the most about college is feeding myself. I hate trying to find food. I hate it. I literally, like, not to mention my school's dining hall. Like, why does it close at 8 p.m.? Someone want to tell me what college kid eats at 8 p.m. Okay, I'm high-key the biggest idiot because I actually went and ate at the dining hall last night after the football game at, like, 10 p.m. So she doesn't close until late. I'm just a dimwit, but it's fine. Anyway, felt like I had to clarify. Things like that, I literally could not tell you. I hate trying to feed myself on campus. Even now, like, even a month later, I feel like I have just grown so much as a person, and I've, like, just changed. Like, not in, like, a sense of, like, where I'm like, oh my god, I'm a completely new person, but I'm, like, so much more well equipped to take care of myself and to be on my own than I ever thought I was able to. In, like, the first, like, weeks, I thought that I literally could not do this, and that I knew that I could, but I was like, okay, but home. I, like, have so much more, like, self-assurance and, like, reassurance that I'm, like, literally, like, doing what I want to do, and, you know, like, ending up in places that I want to end up, and to be in situations that I want to be in, and to experience things that I want to experience. I miss making videos that are, like, very, like, my signature videos, you know what I mean? Like, I miss making ones that have, like, a very, like, specific topic and outcome, and I want to get back to them, but being in this college area and just being surrounded by so much happening all the time, I don't even know. Okay, so in those clips, I did not explain it very well at all, and I was trying to go back and, like, cut it and splice it to where it did make sense, and it doesn't, so I'm just gonna explain it again. I miss my signature videos, but I can't really do them because I don't have the time or availability to do it and to edit it. At some point, I will get back to them. I have ideas now that are more fit to college campus life and also funny signature things that I've done. I just need to find the right time to be able to do them, that I'm not slammed with work. And I'm trying to do more, like, vlogs, so I'm trying to, like, mix in more vlogs with this content. So yeah, I'm actually filming a weekly vlog right now, like, this week. And so yeah, just look forward to having more of both content, like having maybe more vlogs and then maybe, like, a signature video here and there instead of, like, every video like it was when I first started my channel. So that's what I was trying to say, and I simply could not. And because I feel like even now, like, I haven't documented it as much as I would like to, which is so frustrating. And I feel like, especially within your first week and your first months and your first year, those are the times that at some point your energy right now that feels new and feels uncomfortable will become old and you'll miss it. Does that make sense? Like at some point, this energy that I'm having right now, I will go back and watch this vlog as like a senior in college and be like, man, like I miss whenever I lived in this dorm with these people, or I miss whenever I like lived like where I could see like Gavin literally across the street, like, you know what I mean? Or like I miss like the setup of my room, right? And that will be a very interesting day. Another thing that I am going to say, I mentioned it very briefly in the beginning, but I'm going to mention it more now. Joining a sorority was the best decision for me. So yeah. Yeah. If you want to see more from me, check out my blog and my TikTok and my podcast. And you know what's so funny is every time I promote my things, I cut it out in all of my videos. The amount of times that I've just like slyly like promoted myself and like on my different platforms, and I just cut it out because I feel like it's annoying and embarrassing, because I feel like I'm just constantly promoting one thing to the next. It's funny, but I'm hoping that maybe one day I'll keep all that stuff in. That's the video. Messy, a little bit out of the ordinary for me, especially on my YouTube channel, but interesting. But if you like it, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.
Meow.